Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we present you 50 beautiful retro historical photos. We hope you will appreciate our work. Write your comment and click the subscribe button. Enjoy the show, and here we go. Cute model Samantha Fox 1984. Stunning model Natalie Banas, street photo shoot 1989. The Mississippi River circa 1908. Steamboat landing in Union Station at St. Paul, Minnesota. July 13, 1964. San Francisco. Republican National Convention. Governor Mark Hatfield of Oregon delivering keynote address at Cow Palace. July 12, 1964. Ku Klux Klan members supporting Barry Goldwater's campaign for the presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention, San Francisco, California, as an African American man pushes signs back. March 28, 1938. Telegraphic protests against merger bill flood U.S. Senate. Extra messengers were needed today to deliver the thousands of telegrams protesting against the government reorganization bill. Circa 1928. Mrs. Ellis's store, Falmouth, Stafford County, Virginia. May 1st, 1959. Downtown San Francisco, California Street East Bay Vista from Nob Hill. New York, 1914. Charlie White. Chicago lightweight born 1892 in Liverpool. Retired from the ring in 1925. New York circa 1908. Broadway at Times Square Hotel Astor and Astor Theater. San Francisco circa 1924. Donnelly Cadillac Agency Any Corner Van Ness O'Farrell. Looking up Fremont Street in Las Vegas from South 2nd toward the Fremont Casino Carnival Room around Christmas 1958. A 1960 parade welcoming Republican vice presidential candidate Henry Cabot Lodge Jr. to Danville, Illinois. New York circa 1913. Park Avenue and Vanderbilt Hotel, south from 36th Street. Detroit circa 1901. Screw Ferry Excursion Steamer Pleasure at Belle Isle Ferry Dock, Woodward Avenue. Greene County, New York, circa 1902. Palinville Hotel, Catskill Mountains. Buffalo, New York, circa 1900. Tift House, Main Street. Demolished 1902. Washington, D.C., 1920. Tidal Basin Bathing Beach, Tom Miller, 1912, Irving Street Northeast. New York, circa 1922. Paul Specht Band. Circa 1907. North Adams, Massachusetts. Main Street, looking west. San Francisco, 1931. Auburn at Golden Gate Park. November 1942. Babies Hospital, New York. Nurse training. At the ping pong table in the game room, Susan Petty, student nurse, enjoys a bit of relaxation after a busy day's work in the wards. Union Square, San Francisco, looking north up Powell Street, circa 1958. I believe my parents were in America at the time. July 1943. Washington, D.C. Waiting for the parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. Entertaining themselves with the handheld device known as a newspaper. New York, circa 1922. Paul Specht Orchestra, Hotel Astor Roof Garden. March 14, 1925. New York. Isabella Fosta, soprano. San Francisco. Door touring car, 1921. October 1922. New York. Cop is all it says on this glass negative depicting. A photo of the beautiful Rosa Domail 1964. Washington, D.C., circa 1921. National Benefit Life Insurance, interior. July 12, 1922. New York. The soprano and vocal coach Estelle Liebling, instructor of Beverly Sills and a young Meryl Streep. May 1943. San Francisco, California. The Bank of America. (1952). Pine Street at Montgomery, San Francisco. From circa 1924 San Francisco comes this modishly draped mist descending from her sedan. San Francisco, 1952. Fairmont and Mark Hopkins Hotels. New Haven, Connecticut, circa 1902. Banquet in Alumni Hall, University Commons, Yale College. Hampton Roads, Virginia, circa 1895. Hygeia Hotel, Old Point Comfort. July 1943. Washington, D.C. Spectators at the parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. July 1943. Washington, D.C. A man selling flags and buttons at the parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. February 1943. Daytona Beach, Florida. Street scene. Howard's Chicken Shack. We're going to phone 9363 and see if they can deliver to 2023. July 1943. Washington, D.C. Spectators at Office of Civilian Defense parade to recruit civilian defense volunteers. February 1943. Daytona Beach, Florida. Sunday morning street scene in Midway. McGill's Fish Market and Fan Lunchroom, Pine Street and 2nd Avenue. June 23, 1964. Ford Showroom in Wheaton, Maryland. Boston circa 1890s. Jamaica Pond Ice Company delivery wagon. San Francisco, 1925. Buick touring car from rear. The Jersey Shore circa 1901. The beach at Asbury Park. July 1959. Detroit's 1960 look. Sneak preview of the new models. Oakland, California, circa 1918. Orchard Tractor Demonstration Fagel Motors Company Walking Tractor. Delaware County, New York, circa 1902. Ulster, Delaware RR Station, Fleischmann's, Catskill Mountains. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Charming Maria Whitaker, 1988 photo shoot. Michelle Bauer, 1978. Stunning retro photo shoot of a woman, 1970s. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1950, and a print shop making fruit crate labels. Green Lake, Wisconsin, circa 1899. Old mill at railway station. Columbus, Georgia, circa 1952. Pope Motor Company Service Garage. March 1944. Children playing on the roof of the Lighthouse, an institution for the blind, at 111 East 59th Street, New York. Knoxville, Tennessee, ca. 1941. San Francisco, 1935. Golden Gate Bridge under construction. Pontiac San Presidio ramp. Atlantic City, New Jersey, 1904. Boardwalk and Hotel Chalfont. May 1942. Southington, Connecticut. An American town and its way of life. The Memorial Day Parade. The town hall is in the left foreground. October 1942. Girl worker at lunch also absorbing California sunshine. Douglas Aircraft Company, Long Beach. San Francisco, 1937. Policeman and Pontiac at Golden Gate Park. December 1957. Washington, D.C. Man tuning console radio while woman in next room types. Washington, D.C., circa 1919. Senator Warren G. Harding, Republican of Ohio. May 1918. American National Red Cross. Aviation camp of the American Army at Isudan. The Canteen Kitchen. December 1957. Washington, D.C. Man with broadcast listings, woman tunes radio. Circa 1899. Ekin, Mrs. L.M. October 1942. Woman at work on bomber motor, Douglas Aircraft Company, Long Beach, California. Circa 1899. Lorian Morrow Ekin. New York circa 1906. Union League Club, Brooklyn. (1905) City Hall, Troy, New York. This 1875 building, designed by Marcus Cummings. Newport, Rhode Island, 1902. Informal portrait of a young Negro woman working amid clotheslines heavy with sheets and stockings. Circa 1900. Joe Black Fox, a Sioux Indian from Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. San Francisco circa 1927. Page Cabriolet Roadster. Kelly, W.E. between March 1905 and August 1906. June 1942. Tank driver, Fort Knox, Kentucky. Retro photo shoot, 1980s. Circa 1894. Reuter, Fritz, the son, and presumably dog and cat, of Washington, D.C., hotelier Fritz Reuter. Circa 1910. Hall of Records, Sigget's Courthouse, New York, New York. April 1943. Women workers employed as wipers in the roundhouse having lunch in their restroom, Western Railroad, Clinton, Iowa. March 1966. Actor Adam West on the set of the movie Batman and making public appearances. Washington, D.C., circa 1926. Planograph Building, L Street, NE. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Garage elevator wreck. Kelly, J.T. Children. Between February 1894 and February 1901. Wellington, New Zealand, circa 1957. Bond Street shows a narrow city lane. June 1942. Greenbelt, Maryland. Grandma Taylor blows out the candles on her 83rd birthday cake while her daughter, Mrs. McCarl, and grandson look on. San Francisco, 1925. Overland 6 sedan. August 1918. In the kitchen preparing food for wounded American soldiers in U.S. Army Base Hospital No. 41, at St. Denis, France. April 1943. The PBRRR. Pabst Beer sign over the Illinois Central Freight Yard at South Water Street, Chicago. Charleston, South Carolina, 1937. Old House, Henrietta and Elizabeth Streets. December 1942. Working on a locomotive at the 40th Street Shops, Chicago Northwestern RR. August 1940. Extremely tall and excellent corn is also grown on the King and Anderson Cotton Plantation near Clarksdale, Mississippi Delta, Mississippi. August 1940. Street scenes, Port Gibson, Mississippi. October 1939. He brought his family to the West in a homemade trailer from Texas. Boy sick. Father has work now in potato field. Merrill, Klamath County, Oregon. February 1939. Brawley, Imperial County, California. In farm family of mother, father, and 11 children, originally from near Mangrum, Oklahoma. San Francisco circa 1922. Gardner touring car. October 1942. Riveter at work at the Douglas Aircraft Plant in Long Beach, California. Tennessee circa 1902. Chattanooga and Missionary Ridge from Cameron Hill. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Stunning actress Jane Mansfield, 1957. American photo model Petra Verkake. Winter Activities Photo Shoot, 1985. Actress Jane Mansfield, 1950s. September 1938. Coal miner's wife and 3 of their children. Company house in Pusglove, Scotts Run, West Virginia. September 1938. Chaplin, West Virginia. Miner who has worked in mines since he was 14 and has tried to save money and have a better home, with his wife, suffering from bad bronchial condition and asthma. Washington, D.C., circa 1920. Mid-Washington Service Company, 14th Street Northwest. June 1915. Washington, D.C., 15th Street North from G Street NW. Washington, D.C., circa 1915. G Street NW East from 15th at Treasury Department. April 1865. Charleston, South Carolina. Post Office, East Bay Street, showing the only palmetto tree there is in the city. December 31st, 1912. Dime Savings Bank Building, Detroit. March 1917. Washington, D.C. Cosmos Theater, Pennsylvania Avenue. Inauguration Week Bill. June 1943. Silver Spring, Maryland. Man repairing his automobile. January 1939. Unemployed miner. Herrin, Illinois. May 3, 1926. Apple blossoms at Winchester, Virginia. Circa 1928. Tacoma Park, Maryland. Washington Sanitarium Laboratory. October 13, 1945. Child's Frick Residence in Roslyn, Long Island, New York. Guest Cottage South Facade. January 1925. Washington, D.C. Wardman Motor Company and Carlton Garage, 1108 to 14 Vermont Avenue. Chelsea, Michigan, circa 1901. Glacier Stove Company, Machine Room. Detroit, circa 1909. Union Depot, 4th and 3rd Streets. Washington, D.C., circa 1925. International Exchange Bank, 5th and H Streets, NW. January 1943. Washington, D.C. Pearl Ginsburg refused to have her boarding house rent raised. I have no idea what this is about. Make up your own story. Probably early 1950s. San Francisco, circa 1927. Peerless 6-90 sedan at Japanese Tea Garden, Golden Gate Park. Washington, D.C., circa 1937. Lobby, Acacia Mutual Life Insurance Company Building. (1940s) photo taken by my grandfather, Detroit news photographer Howard McGraw, of a young man who's really just too cool for words. Don't worry, the cigarette is not lit. November 1953. Beverly Hills, California. Comedian Groucho Marx sitting on a swing set with daughter Melinda. France. April 1918. The horrible disfigured man of war cannot cool the warmth of the friendship of his old comrade. Russian and Telegraph Hills, from roof of Ferry P.O. San Francisco. Palace Hotel, Market Street, San Francisco. After the devastating earthquake and fire of April 1906. Pretty model Natalie Banas, 1990. Washington, D.C., 1922. Department of Agriculture. First device to accurately measure a loaf of bread in cubic centimeters has been perfected by Bureau of Agricultural Economics. Washington, D.C., 1923. Dancer is all it says here. Washington, D.C., 1918. CN Odell children. Illegally but adorably parked. June 1939. Calba at Quarter Circle U Roundup, Bighorn County, Montana. The Mississippi River circa 1900. Mardi Gras, New Orleans. Awaiting wrecks on the levee. Newport Beach, California. Balboa Bathing Parade, 1925. (1906) Mardi Gras in New Orleans. The Royal Chariot with wrecks at Canal Street Ferry. October 1939. Greeley, Colorado. Mrs. Milton Robinson, wife of Farm Security Administration borrower, in the kitchen of her farm home. September 1943. Cincinnati, Ohio. The children of Bernard Cochran, a Greyhound bus driver, doing dishes after Sunday dinner. (1938) Swimwear model on bow of skiff at Marineland. December 20th, 1909. Firemen spraying burning building on West 14th Street, New York. September 1943. Indianapolis, Indiana. A Greyhound bus station. Washington, D.C., November 24, 1924. Bonus Bureau Personnel Records Division. June 25, 1921. Washington, D.C. Bathing Beach Costume Contest. San Francisco circa 1920. Moon Auto. September 1943. Cincinnati, Ohio. Loading baggage on a Greyhound bus at the bus terminal. August 1937. Virginia, Minnesota Cooperative Service Station of the Virginia Work People's Trading Company. September 1937. Wife of John Halling, member of the Otsego Forest Products Cooperative. Otsego County, New York. West Main Street in Alhambra, California. Detroit circa 1908. Walker Block, Griswold and Fort SDS. San Francisco circa 1919. Franklin Touring Car. September 1939. A gray day in New York City, looking northeast from University Place. Boston, Massachusetts, circa 1909. Christchurch, Old North. Circa 1909. Madison Avenue, Toledo. November 1942. Pittsburgh vicinity. Montour No. 4 mine of the Pittsburgh Coal Company. Coal miner waiting to go underground. Bonus photo for you, a beautiful retro woman. Enchanting photo shoot of Maria Whitaker 1988.